Everyone is talking about Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris, two of the most controversial figures in the history of love and hip-hop, who were recently banned from reality TV. This comes after years of drama, betrayals, and moments that made headlines. However, what exactly happened behind the scenes that led producers to make this drastic decision? According to sources, it all began with an intense and chaotic backstage altercation. Hold on, there's more to this story than what's being reported. Was this really just one fight, or was there something much bigger brewing behind the scenes? Betrayals, secret alliances, and shocking revelations. This scandal is deeper than anyone could have imagined. According to reports, Kirk and MCH are reportedly done for good after years of being reality TV royalty. There will be no more cameras or confessionals, just a harsh reality that they never saw coming. The tension between Kirk Frost and MCH had been simmering beneath the surface for weeks, but no one anticipated that it would explode into a brawl that would end his career and rock the entire love and hip-hop franchise. It all happened at a private, closed-door meeting after show taping where the cast members were supposed to air out their differences before the official reunion episode. No cameras, no pressure, just a chance to clear the air. Stay tuned because we're about to break it all down. That was the plan, but it's only a matter of time until something explosive happens when you put egos, grudges, and drama-hungry reality TV stars in the same room. That night, it happened. Kirk and MCH had never been close, but they respected each other until recently, when rumors began to circulate that MCH had been calling reckless behind Kirk's back, calling him a washed-up has-been who only remained relevant because of Rashida's hustle. At first, Kirk dismissed it, reasoning that love and hip-hop thrived on drama, and loose lips were nothing new. But when several people came forward, MCH had escalated the situation to the point where Kirk could no longer ignore it. The whispers escalated into full-fledged accusations, with MCH allegedly telling producers that Kirk was desperate to start a phony beef to stay on the show. Becky was a liability, adding nothing new to the franchise except for old scandals and tired drama for Kirk, who had the audacity to say, "I'm the one holding the show back." Kirk reportedly vented to cast members prior to the altercation, saying, "I'm the one holding the show back." Respect, and Kirk wasn't going to allow someone like Much to disrespect his legacy. According to inside sources, Kirk pulled MCH aside prior to the reunion taping in an attempt to resolve the matter amicably, but MCH wasn't backing down. "If you're worried about what I'm saying, perhaps you should fix what's broken," MCH allegedly told Kirk, his tone dripping with arrogance. Kirk's face twisted, his jaw clenched, and that was all that was required. What began as a heated exchange escalated into a full-fledged screaming match, with producers and cast members in utter shock that they were witnessing this. Even before security could react, Kirk snapped and pointed a finger at MCH. MCH then laughed a slow, mocking laugh that sent Kirk over the edge. At that point, everything went out of control. MCH lunged forward, grabbing Kirk's shirt, and in a matter of seconds, chairs crashed, glasses shattered, cast members screamed, and security rushed in to try to separate them. Both men were in a rage, and Rashida was frantically attempting to pull Kirk away as she tried to stop him. However, it was too late. The damage had already been done, and the worst part was that it was all captured on camera. Someone in the room had taken out their phone, and as soon as Kirk and MCH threw hands, the footage began to spread like wildfire. Within minutes, clips began to appear on social media, shocking fans with their comments and sending the Love and Hip Hop production team into full panic mode. This isn't your typical reality TV drama, as one producer reportedly stated that the fight was so brutal and intense that producers had no other option but to stop filming right away. Kirk was dragged into a room, still furious, and his face was twisted with rage. Behind the scenes, the executives were already making a decision that no one had anticipated because, although fights were common on reality TV, What had just happened was too extreme, too raw, too destructive. Before the night was even over, an emergency meeting called The Verdict had been called. Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris were going to receive the harshest punishment of their careers. There was no turning back this time. The fallout from the fight was swift and severe. Within hours, the Love and Hip Hop production team was dealing with a crisis, and it wasn't just broken chairs and shattered egos. The network executives were furious. Reality TV thrives on drama, so some pushing and shoving was to be expected, but this time it was different. Two longtime cast members were throwing punches in a way that could have caused serious injuries, and worse, the video had been leaked, and fans had seen it everywhere. I've already analyzed every second of the video that shows Kirk pushing MCH, how much lunged at him, the sounds of glass shattering in the background, and the explosive reactions on social media. I never imagined that Kirk and MCH would get into a full-on fight, and this fight was so wild that MCH just snapped. If Kirk and MCH are fired for this, I'm done watching. Some fans supported Kirk, claiming that MCH had no right to be disparaging a Love and Hip Hop original. Everyone agreed that this was one of the biggest scandals in the franchise's history, and the executives were concerned about more than just the public's reaction. They were also concerned about their reputation because the fight had gone beyond what they could make into good television. There were legal issues, and sponsors were growing anxious that allowing Kirk and MC to remain would send the wrong message. As a result, the decision was made, and the following morning, Kirk and Mies received the call that they were officially fired from Love and Hip. As they paced back and forth in their Atlanta home, Kirk reportedly told Rashida, "Hop, no warning, no second chances, just gone." He was shocked, saying, "They haven't done anything like this before. They need me. I've been here since the beginning." But Rashida knew better, seeing this coming. "Kirk, you quit your hands on ends," she told him, and it went viral. They had no choice. Kirk wasn't trying to hear it in his mind. He was sitting in his living room with Yandy when he received the call, and his entire body tensed when he heard the words, "letting you go." He shook his head and said, "I bring too much to this show. They need me." But Yandy wasn't about to let this go, so she snapped and grabbed her phone, saying, "They're just going to throw you out after everything after we brought lions to this show." Their relationship, legal issues, and family struggles had all been prime reality TV gold, but none of that mattered. "Now, I told you not to let him get to you," Yandy muttered as she rubbed her temples. "Now, look, we're done." The phone calls and blogs continued to come in, and other cast members were adding their voices to the story. Before long, it wasn't just about the fight. New rumors began to circulate that Kirk Frost and MC's Harris BLACKLISTED from All Reality TV. Insiders claimed that several networks were now reluctant to collaborate with them because they were too much of a liability, and given how rapidly things had gotten out of hand, no one wanted to take that chance. One producer even told the source, "If Kirk and Mendeecees can't keep it professional, how can we trust them on another show?" It was like the domino effect, with sponsorship deals on hold, potential spin-offs scrapped, and their entire reality TV careers hanging by a thread. However, Kirk and Men weren't going down without a fight, so he called up his legal team to see if he could challenge the decision and sue for wrongful. The firing of Kirk and Mendeecees sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. But Kirk was thinking bigger. If they thought I was just going to disappear, they had another thing coming. Kirk reportedly told a friend, "I built my name. I don't need Love and Hip Hop. I'll make my own moves." And suddenly, the war wasn't just between them anymore. It was between them and the entire Love and Hip Hop empire. But could they really recover from this? Or was this the end of Kirk and MC's reality TV careers for good? Kirk, the businessman, quickly got to work because he understood the power of public perception, and if he was going to salvage his career, he had to control the narrative. Instead of stepping back from the spotlight, Kirk made sure the public knew his side. Both men were not just reality TV stars. They were staples of the genre, deeply woven into the fabric of Love Hip Hop. The show had elevated them into household names, and now they were being shown the door of the story. He sat down for an exclusive interview with the major blog a few days after this firing. He explained the incident from his point of view, talking straight into the camera. What happened between me and MFA's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, I was defending my honor, especially on my turf. I've been with Love Hip Hop from day one, and I've put in the work for them to just cut me off like that. It's foul. Kirk wasn't just upset about the altercation. He felt betrayed by the very show he had helped build, a show that had displayed his highs and lows, family drama, business endeavors, and one terrible moment that seemed to erase everything. But Kirk wasn't going to let that be the end of the story. He told his fans they might have closed the door on me, but trust me, I've got plenty of other doors I can open. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was going through his own whirlwind. His firing from Love and Hip Hop had hit him hard, but he wasn't going to lie down and take it like Kirk. Mendeecees knew that controlling the narrative was crucial, so he too reached out to the media, but his strategy was different from Kirk's. On The Fight, Mendeecees used his platform to discuss his journey. He started with an emotional Instagram live session saying, "I don't regret standing up for myself. I've always been about respect, and I won't let anyone disrespect me on or off camera." Of course, Yundi was by his side, her face a mask of controlled lead fury. She was upset and furious, but she also understood how the game worked because she had been on reality TV long enough to understand. He's been through worse than this, and we always come out on top, but behind closed doors, has assured that being cut off from Love and Hip Hop was more than just a professional blow. It was personal. He had dedicated years of his life to the show and bare his soul on camera. And now with one mistake, it felt like all of that was being taken away. "I don't know if we're going to bounce back from this," she told their followers during the live session. "You guys haven't seen the last of me." The news that not only had Kirk and Meme fired, but they were also being banned from reality TV, altogether struck him as the final blow. Without Love Hip Hop, what's left is our bread and butter. Yundi wasn't one to wallow in self-pity. She was already planning their next move and assured him that they figure it out because they have their own brand now and the fans love us, not just the show. Want to touch them? At first, it seemed like just another rumor. But as the days passed, sources from multiple networks confirmed that Kirk and Mendeecees were now deemed too dangerous to cast. According to Insider, reality TV thrives on drama, but this went too far. Nobody wants to deal with the possibility of losing control again or facing legal trouble. For Kirk, the news was devastating. Losing his job at Love and Hip Hop was bad enough, but being blacklisted was a career death. The calm Kirk Storm tried to reassure him that "we'll figure something out, babe. You've got too much hustle in you to let this be the end." But Kirk wasn't convinced. He knew the reality of the situation without TV. Staying relevant would be an uphill battle. Kirk told Rashida one night, his frustration evident in his voice, that without reality TV, Kirk's brand would lose visibility, and with that, his influence and income would dry up. "I ain't about to be no has-been, Ben," Kirk told Rashida that night. His name and face were what kept his ventures afloat, and without that exposure, everything could fall apart. On the other side of the country, many men were feeling the pressure, and his phone had gone eerily silent. Brands were not contacting him, and his social media engagement was declining. It was as if the fight had caused Traer to be banned from the industry, so BCS told Yandy, with a clear sense of frustration in his voice, "We need to do something fast, men." The strategist already had a plan, so she said with confidence, "If they don't want us on their shows, we'll make our own show. We don't need them. We have the fan base. We have the following. Let's do this ourselves." However, despite their audacious statements, Kirk and Mendeecees knew they were up against a formidable opponent, as being blacklisted was not merely about not getting cast on shows, but about being excluded from an entire industry. As the days stretched into weeks, the severity of the situation only increased. Two of the biggest names in Love Hip Hop, Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris, were facing the harsh reality of being blacklisted by the industry that once thrived on their drama, conflicts, and storylines. The silence was deafening. They had built their lives around the fame and fortune of reality TV. But now they were facing the very real possibility that it could all fall apart. Would they actually recover, or would their fight mark the end of their reality? So surely someone would give him a chance, but every call ended the same way. "I wish I could help you, man," a producer told him in a voice full of regret, but the network doesn't want that kind of heat right now. The fight was too much, and no one wanted the backlash. It wasn't just about the fight anymore. It was about Kirk's reputation, the man who had made a name for himself as a reality TV veteran was now viewed as too risky, too volatile, and worst of all, bad for business. Rashida noticed the change in him right away. One evening, while waiting for a call that never came, Rashida tried to reassure him that we could make this work. "You have the clothing stores and Frost Bistro," she said, "but that's not the point, Rashida. This is what I do. This is who I am. If they shut me out, how do I stay relevant? How do we keep the brand alive?" Rashida had no answer, and while Yundi was busy planning how to make their personal brand into something bigger, Mendeecees found himself in a strange place. It felt like every door was being slammed shut before he could even knock. Yandy wasn't one to sit around and wait for opportunities to come to them. If the industry didn't want them, they would build their own platform. She began contacting streaming services, independent production companies, and social media platforms saying, "We don't need VH1. She told Mendeecees with confidence, "We can take this to YouTube, to Z Network, to Tubi, wherever we want. We own our brand. We don't need there." In the meantime, the fallout from the blacklist was spreading and fans were furious. Social media exploded with debates over whether Kirk and Mendeecees should be blacklisted or whether they were being unfairly punished because they built love and hip-hop. One fan tweeted that if we're not on TV, our people won't even care about Yandy's confidence, which was never Ed's. We just need to give them something they can't ignore. A foreign cast member stated in a podcast that, "I've been in this game for years, and let me tell you, there's a line you don't cross. Kirk, Andy crossed it, but others aren't so sure they wanted us to act up on TV. Mater, Nina, that ain't right." But others weren't as sympathetic. They knew what they were doing. Another user commented, "This isn't some regular drama. They fought on set. What did they expect?" The backlash wasn't just online. Former cast members, reality TV veterans, and even producers were winning in Stevie J, Another Love, and Hip Hop Alone. Despite the public outcry, the network's decision stood firm, and Kirk and I were out. There were no second chances, so Kirk decided he wasn't leaving without a fight, a legal fight. He had been in the entertainment industry long enough to know his rights if the network wanted to blacklist him, but they owed him this. Kirk told his lawyer, "This isn't just about a fight. This is about my legacy. They used me for years. They made money off my name now." The Leo battle, on the other hand, was torn. He wasn't the type to sue because he had been through the legal system before, and he didn't want to go down that road again. But he also knew Kirk had a point. They had given everything to the show, and now they were being left with nothing. The lawsuit wasn't just about Kirk's contract. He wanted damages and compensation for the years he had dedicated to the franchise, for the reputation he had built only to be discarded like trash. According to one media insider, if CK prevails, it could set an entirely new standard for reality TV. Stars. It's all about power and control. These networks own their talent, but Kirk is fighting back. However, the lawsuit had repercussions. Kirk and Mendeecees weren't just blacklisted. They were radioactive, and no network, brand, or company wanted to be associated with them during the litigation. Rashida attempted to put an end to the dispute, but Kirk wasn't listening. "I'm not letting them win, Rashida." However, Yandy saw the wider picture and knew that Mendeecees didn't want to be involved in legal drama and lawsuits, so she took a risk and decided to make a reality TV come back on their terms. She asked producers for help, and soon the plan was underway. A new show that would be independent, uncensored, and raw. Kirk and Mendeecees might have been banned from Love and Hip Hop, but that didn't mean they were done. The question TV careers, do share your ideas in the comments section below. If you want to be informed of all the startling turns, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any updates. This story is moving quickly, and I promise you won't be disappointed. I wish to overlook what occurs next.